Another day, another cheap Chinese mouse, but unfortunately not everyone's made the same, and this ATK Dragonfly A9 SE is an example of that. Today I'll do a quick speedrun, so bear with me and stay until the end of the video, because this mouse also has a few alternatives that I'll mention in the end. Now, the most essential thing here is the price, and on this SE version it's around 25 euros. That's very similar to the VXE R1 SE which I had on here previously, but this one's got different shape, different sensor, and also different shortcomings. The package immediately shows off the price tag, only the most basic box with the mouse, cable and receiver inside. However, the mouse itself really surprises with its build quality, because it's sturdy as a rock, doesn't squeak or make any noises, and even the coating feels very nice. ATK states that it's just bare plastic, but it doesn't appear to me that way. It's a matte surface that doesn't show any fingerprints, and if you don't have absolutely dry hands, it feels pretty grippy. Shape-wise, as you could have already noticed, it's pretty much another Logitech Superlight, and if I closed my eyes, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be able to differentiate those two. And to be honest, even clicking them, I wouldn't notice a difference, because the main buttons are very easily clickable and spammable, with only slight pre- and post-travel. Button wobble is non-existent, and it also shows how good the build quality is. Scroll wheel is light, with good and noticeable steps, not too loose, and the click is just right, not too heavy, but also not too light so you won't press it by accident. Side buttons are pretty much one-to-one copy of the Superlight, with same noticeable pre- and post-travel, but to me they're well placed and easily clickable and spammable. That thing about the build quality is definitely its strongest point, and maybe even something to think about if we're paying 5 times the amount for Logitech mice, but I digress. Shape-wise then, it's the same potato GPX shape, and that means to some extremely universal, and to others too universal. It's a shape good for almost everybody. For claw, mostly for my claw, it's very good. For palm grip, if you don't have abnormally huge hands, it's also good. And even fingertip, if your hands are big enough, it's very doable. It's a jack of all trades, master of none. On the bottom, there's a DPI button, switch between wireless and Bluetooth mode, small space for receiver, skates, and this forward-placed sensor. I want to talk about the skates and especially the sensor. Skates are surprisingly decent. I'd compare them to the VXE R1 SEs. They're thick enough and also glide well enough, and to be honest, they're very decent for skates on a 25 euro mouse. What's not very decent though is the sensor performance. Don't get me wrong, the sensor, for it only being a 3311, works well, and in usual circumstances I'd even praise it. But I have a huge issue that came into the light when I got into the software. You can set up all of the usual stuff like remap, DPI, polling, debounce, or even esport mode, and they even stayed motion sync. All of that is great, but the problem came when I tried setting up LOD. Software says 1 or 2 millimeters, and that'd be awesome. Can somebody look me in the eyes and tell me that this is 1 millimeter? I'm gonna be honest, I always play on the lowest LOD setting because I lift my mice a lot and low LOD is very important for me. And now, to me, the mouse is basically unusable. I'm not exaggerating, it's never happened to me, but this A9 SE is absolutely dead to me. I can't comfortably play with it, I can't use it, I can't even use it on the desktop or in Resolve because every time I lift it up it just makes me angry. I don't want to shit on it just for the sake of shitting, but this LOD problem is to me simply deal-breaking. Other than that, it's a great mouse that I personally can't use. A9 also has a bunch of other versions, of which the top ones I'd like to try in the future, so don't forget to subscribe to not miss that. But at this moment in time, the A9 SE becomes the first and only very ambitious mouse that I don't ever wanna see again. But if you wanna see again another video of mine, don't forget to like and subscribe. You should also check out this one, and I'll see you again next Friday. Bye!